morning.
Good
Hello,
morning,
everybody.
everybody. We have a wonderful guest behind the scenes. Thank you to Sarah's Happy Hives. And, Jegs already knows about the bees and everything. So I'm going to let Sarah take it away for the beginning part.
Okay, well, as you know, Miss T likes to connect people in the community. And when she asked for ideas about who to have on the show, I thought we got to have Tracy from the Hive Butler because she's an Indiana businesswoman and she's also a beekeeper. And without further ado, here's Tracy.
Woo.
Hey there.
Hello, Tracy.
Hey there.
Hello, Tracy. Thank you again so much for coming in. So while we're waiting on more people to come in, so far we have 8. We have Unbiased in here, Growing What I Eat. There's Sarah up here at the top with me. So while we're waiting on others to come in, can you please tell us about yourself and your company?
Absolutely. So my name's Tracy Pielmeyer, and I am have been. The biggest thing I ever did was homeschooled all my kids all the way through. That was really important and crucial. And I was not a beekeeper when my kids were young. So that's an added complexity that I haven't experienced. I was an unintended beekeeper. Forced my dad to do it for me, hid in the truck with the windows closed. That was a couple years. And then his bees left and he tired of it. So I had all the equipment. So I was like, oh, one more thing I need to learn. So took my 14-year-old daughter to bee school and we got some bees and set them up. And yes.
There's actually a bee school.
There's a lot of bee schools.
Absolutely. What an excellent question. Okay, well, let's talk about this. Every state in the United States has a beekeeping organization because the founders, the pioneers, all those people knew that honeybees, the European honeybee is required for our food diversity, for pollination purposes. They brought them over on ships. So every state has a state organization. Some run well, some not so well, but they are out there. So anybody interested in beekeeping could at least start at that level and try to find out what clubs are in their area and what bee schools are available. Yep, it's like an all-day multi-class session.
I learned something 2 minutes into the...
So Indiana, prior to COVID, Indiana actually had one of the largest bee schools in the United States. I know. Used to be 1,200 people down at Decatur High School all day, the last Saturday of February. So it is still held the last Saturday of February, but the previous 3 or 4 years it's been up in Muncie. Terrific bee school, lots of instruction, vendors there to buy all your equipment. Sarah, have you been to it?
I have not.
Okay. So now do you belong to a club in your area?
I do attend clubs in my area.
Okay. And
have those Beeline, I'm not sure, in Brown County.
Okay. Is that the noon one? It meets at noon?
No, they meet in the library.
Okay. Because there used to be one in Nashville that met at noon on Saturday.
I don't know if they meet at noon on Saturday, but they meet, I think, the second Monday.
Okay. So go ahead.
And then the Bartholomew County Beekeepers, they have a Facebook group, but I don't do the Facebook thing.
Okay.
So I do have one more question.
Sure.
So do you need to have the schooling or training to be certified or anything as far as being a beekeeper?
So Indiana does not require any registration or certification. There are certifications available for beekeepers. The top one, of course, is called Master Beekeeper, and that class or training is only offered in specific locations in the United States. Cornell has a Master Beekeeper program. The University of Montana has a Master Beekeeper program. And then there's one through the Eastern Apicultural Society, which is a multi-state organization over the East Coast. So becoming a Master Beekeeper is quite the thing. And obviously not everyone pursues that.
Okay, so what is it, a Master Beekeeper and just versus a regular bee?
So there's a new program started called the Great Plains Master Beekeeper, and that actually has 3 levels: apprentice, journeyman, and master. So you can take the apprentice level to just get a basic working knowledge. Certainly not required. It's just something that some beekeepers choose to pursue.
Okay.
But what I want everybody to know is they could go to thebeekeepersofindiana.com, and there's a map of all the clubs in Indiana, which I think there's over 30 now. So there's a lot, and try to find one in your local area to attend.
Okay.
As I mentioned, beekeeping is expensive and difficult at the beginning. You really need to get connected with a local network. Do you have a story on that, Sarah? How'd you get started?
Well, we kind of saw the stuff in the store at Rural King.
Okay.
And then I think that was the year we made dandelion jelly.
Oh, wow.
And it tasted just like honey. And I joked to my husband that it would be easier to get the honey from the actual bees than to pick all these petals. And so he took me seriously, and here we are.
Fun. And how many hives do you have?
Right now, my count is 33 over 5 properties.
Are you a full-time beekeeper?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I do a lot of things. I'm grandma.
I'm impressed.
And I started out supporting local beekeeper in Georgia by buying their sourwood honey.
Okay.
It was, I think, back in 2017. My husband and I went to Georgia, and that sourwood honey, I couldn't believe it, because the stuff that I'd been tasting in stores, it wasn't like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then talking a little bit with the beekeepers that made it, they seemed to really enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
So, and I guess the dandelion jelly kind of pushed it all forward. Like, if we can have it taste, collect that. Well, we can't here.
Right.
Indiana doesn't grow sourwood trees well.
Yeah. So how many years did it take to go from 1 hive to 33 hives?
5.
That is a huge leap. I'm impressed. Good for you.
The first year I had 1.
Right.
Ordered the package bees from Georgia, and they did great. But the mites, I didn't know about the mites, and I lost it.
And this is where so many startup beekeepers are going to hit the wall, man. They've spent a lot of money. They aren't connected to local clubs, so they don't know how other people are managing mites. And then they're like, oh, my bees died. Well, it's an expensive loss, right? It's livestock.
And the next year, I bought another package, and I just wasn't going to give up because
you can't.
I couldn't.
So I do have a question. We do have people all over the world.
Right.
I know you recommended people to the Indiana site.
Right.
Is there a site like for every state?
Every state has an organization. They all have different names, but literally you could go to your search bar and put in your state and beekeeping association and see what comes up. As a business owner who wants to go to bee conferences, that is what I have done. Georgia, beekeeping, Iowa, beekeeping, Kansas, beekeeping. So, yeah.
And you did state there was a lot of money. So would you recommend people beforehand of buying the products to go to like the clubs and things like that?
So as a club leader now and a person who is a vendor at conferences, this is what I can tell you. Again, the learning curve is pretty steep. So before you commit hundreds and hundreds of dollars to equipment, start getting educated, which is where the internet is a huge help, right? There's crazy people on the internet. We all know that. There's really good instruction also on the internet. You need to find some people, if you can, who are actually, again, in your state, because beekeeping is very local based on the weather and the flora that supports the bees. It doesn't help me in Indiana if I follow a beekeeping influencer from Florida, okay? Totally different. And those bees are acclimated to that climate. So for instance, one of my favorite guys to follow on YouTube is Fred Dunn, D-U-N-N, and he's in Pennsylvania. So about the same weather as I have in central Indiana, okay? So getting educated, and then the advantage of getting connected to a club is there are always people aging out, moving away, and downsizing.
Okay. Jakes, how many hives do you have? You have your hives going?
Right now, I have 4,
Okay, perfect.
but I'm in the process of making more.
Okay.
I got
Go
the wood sitting
Jags.
in the truck now, and I just got to get it done.
So, do you guys agree that an important part of beekeeping is a little bit of hoarding?
A little bit. Because
Yeah.
I save my the cottage cheese containers and
Oh my
peanut butter
gosh.
jars for my
Uh-huh.
wax and propolis.
Okay, good idea. My thought about that was just about you're going to expand. You never have enough woodware, do you?
And that's it. I've just run out, and I'm trying not to panic because they're still swarming out there.
Yes.
I was going to say, I'll ask my wife about that hoarding stuff.
Does she?
I
I'm
might
not
get
going.
kicked
I'm
out.
not gonna.
I know. And so, but hopefully she has a hobby like sewing or crochet where you can say, well, you have a stash of your stuff and I have a stash of my stuff.
That don't matter.
Oh, dang.
So what all do you hoard? Like, I know there's the bee suit, the veil. What all do you guys have?
So go ahead, Jake, tell us woodware. What's the woodware
okay.
deal?
I got 3. I got 1 suit that is for a person that's 6'2" and
Okay.
slim. That is taking up space. Then I got 2 other suits. I got some frames that are not put together.
Me too.
I got boards sitting all out in the carport. And I just got a whole bunch of stuff while she looks at me and just shake her head every now and then.
But to Sarah's point, swarm season, my girlfriend that I mentor and work with a mile away called me last night, almost at dark. I'm driving up to Thorntown to get a swarm off a kid's swing set. Do we have enough stuff to set up another hive? So Jake, if you're splitting, right, you have to have another bottom board, an inner cover, outer cover, a box, and at least 9 frames to go in that box. So it's just this constant, I can't get rid of that because I might need it.
Yep.
So we have newer people here. Could you guys explain the swarm process?
Absolutely. So swarming is how a colony replicates, like we have kids. Okay. A healthy, robust colony.
Don't use kids. Don't use kids.
Okay.
Because all kids do not leave home.
Well, I was going to add that at the end that we want them to leave, but I got you because I have a 20-year-old daughter here. So a healthy, robust colony, the way they propagate themselves is they'll outgrow their space. They get their queen ready. They take the existing queen and 50% of them fly off. They leave behind capped queen cells that are going to hatch out and take care of the remaining population. The swarm flies out and hangs somewhere for a temporary hold, and that's called a bivouac, and that's this big ball of bees that you'll see hanging on a lamppost or a tree branch. People get very nervous because they can be big. Okay? So they're there for a temporary time. Their scouts are going out looking for the next place to set up shop. And while they do, their bellies are full of honey because they're transporting it to the next place so they can barely sting you. The queen's in the middle. They're keeping her at 93 degrees. The scouts are all going to come back and say, this is what I found, this is what I found, this is what I found. And then they're going to take off to set up shop somewhere. So if the beekeeper gets a notification while they're hanging there, it's fun. Swarms are magical, and I never get tired of catching them. How about you guys?
I'm waiting for the next one, but I'm like, I have this is empty now. So I can put them in that, but then I don't have, and Stephen, he's making more boxes for me.
Right. So there's the thing. You're always trying to accumulate more.
And
Do you have any swarms?
Well, unfortunately, where I'm located at,
Yeah.
I don't see nothing around here. I'm in the city, and there's not much around here, but I go to my property in the country and just set up some boxes. I haven't been back to check them out yet.
Oh, well, where are you located?
Georgia.
Okay. Oh, so you got your swarm season's probably over by now. It's so warm, right?
Right.
Yeah. So here, I will tell you this secret, both you guys. If you want to catch more swarms, our club got a Google phone number, which is free. All you have to have is a Gmail account. We got a Google phone number, and we you can transfer that from one phone to another. It doesn't have to be just one phone. But anyway, we put it on Facebook. We put it out with the 911 operators, the county extension agent, the pest control companies, the tree companies. If they see swarms, call this number. Those calls come into my phone almost every single day. I kind of get the details. How high is it? How big is it? Where is it? And then I call beekeepers I have on my list. Do you want to go get it? Do you want to go get it? Because when people see a swarm, they are desperate to get rid of it. And the Google phone number hides your personal phone number. So you got a little bit of privacy there, but somebody is going to need help and they don't know where to turn. So they end up killing them.
There's
And it's
somebody
warm.
that needs help in the chat right now. Janet, almost homesteading. She has a friend in Terre Haute that has a swarm right now in her yard.
Okay, so tell her to go. So she can go on Facebook. There is a page called Indiana Honey Bee Rescue. 2 words, honey bee. Indiana Honey Bee Rescue. Post a picture of how high and say how high it is and a basic area and if somebody can come get it. There's also a page called Central Indiana Beekeeping. You can post it there.
Oh, okay. Let me see. David Lewis is in Indiana, in New York.
Yep.
That's what I want to say. The Hive Butler uncapping tank is a nice tool. What is that? Does anybody have one of those nearby? No?
I don't have the uncapping tank from the Hive Butler yet. But
Wink,
it's
wink.
like this
So
with a honey gate on it, and then it rests in the bottom.
right, there's 2 totes, right? Yep, there's 2 totes. So I don't know if you guys know, when bees are storing honey, they put a wax cap over the cells of honey when the honey is at the correct moisture, that it will stay stable and not ferment. So that is capped over honey. It's sealed in the wax comb. All right. And you can't harvest honey until you cut off those cappings. So that's part of the honey process, is you have to cut off the cappings before you can spin it out. So
Right.
we designed an uncapping tank. Thank
And that's
you.
the inside.
Thank you.
Oh,
We designed an uncapping tank to help contain that mess and make your processing a little bit easier.
I keep the right and the left gets me on this.
I know, me too. Me too. So you guys I have a tiny little YouTube channel for the Hive Butler, but you can go there and see some videos of the uncapping tank in action and why we like it.
all right. It's on Pamela's list.
Yay.
Now,
Oh, the back
Pamela is
window
my
of a
friend in
Honda.
Brown County. She's been getting swarms left and right.
Mhm. I'm telling you, my swarm call just rings all day long.
Mm.
Yesterday it was at the BMW dealer down on Keystone Avenue. And he was very anxious. And then he told me they were going into the knothole of a tree. I was like, dude, they're in. You get them. Nature has chosen you. We will not be getting them out of a tree.
So I think Janet needs more information. She didn't catch it all.
Central Indiana Beekeeping.
Okay.
And that is not a club. That's just Central Indiana Beekeepers.
Now, before I ask this question, swarms, you said JEG swarm season is over. So swarming is in a certain season?
It's here it started early, I think.
But it's always in the spring, or mostly in the spring. Right.
We do try to do it in the fall, but those bees they're committing suicide because they can't build themselves up enough before winter. So if I catch one in like August, I'll catch them and add them to another colony.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. Yeah, there's some old children's rhyme. It's like a swarm in May is worth a load of hay, which if you have livestock, hay is very valuable. A swarm in May is worth a load of hay. A swarm in June is worth a silver spoon. A swarm in July, let it go by. Yeah.
Okay.
Right on fine work.
I don't know nothing about the mother whatever rhymes, but hey, I just do what I see.
Absolutely. And honestly, if somebody calls me with a swarm in September, I'm like you. I can't just let them die. I go get them and I try to do something with them because they're trying. That's my
do.
motto. If they're trying, I'm trying.
I love you, Tracy. You're
Aw.
so deep in my heart.
You guys as well. You're the same as me. You're doing the same thing. So that's what I love about the beekeeping community. We all want to help. We want to do better for them because they're helping us, right? So
Right. Well, welcome in, everybody. We have over 33 people, 34 people in here.
Oh,
Fresh and Fire in Georgia is in the bushes at work. Sneak peek. Gonna have to try to guess. Let me read
I
this.
can, I can see it. Yeah.
So, how do you all go about cutting grass when does it upset the bees?
So go ahead. You guys
going.
tell. What?
You just keep going.
You can cut it that way. Around my bees, I use the weed eater too. The thing is, I just cut. I don't be playing, taking my slow time. I just cut and get it out the way.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just keep going.
Nine times out of 10, if you're behind the hive, they really don't bother you unless you're in the front taking your slow time and that noise from the weed eater get to them and they want to get to you.
I agree. My husband just takes one big path and goes across the front. We put stall mats, the rubber stall mats from Tractor Supply, cut in half. That is under our hive stand. So that kind of helps keep them a little bit away. But if you go look at my Instagram right now, you can see I have plenty of colonies with tall weeds sticking up right in the front. Haven't done the weed whacker thing yet, but we do that as well. Just got to get quick.
I have found they'll tolerate the electric weed eater better than the gas powered one because I think they do not like the gasoline smell that comes from the mower.
Interesting. That wouldn't surprise me. Or it's the dual noise, right?
Or the vibration,
whacker noise, and the motor noise.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've noticed them. Even my husband said, because he'll do the weed eating in the apiary, he got an electric one, and he said they don't bother me as much.
Nice. My husband has a ZTR mower, and he likes to be very precise. And mine are on these concrete pads. It's a concrete pad, a little bit bigger than the hive, which is on a pedestal. And he hit it with the mower and shifted the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was like, what? It's like, really? Do you have to get that close? Really?
Just for everybody that's coming in, you see the name up there. It's not J3GS. It's JGD Haven.
Yeah.
That's my second channel. I'm just starting. There's not much on it, but I'm starting it.
Cool.
So you may not see my name up here, but it's still me.
Okay.
Okay, Otis.
Subscribe to that, okay? So we do have a lot of people in here also who are like kind of wanting to become beekeepers, but are nervous, of potentially getting stung. Do you have any, like advice?
I do. I always say, did you fall off your bike?
Okay.
Did you ever crash your car? And I'm not trying to minimize it, right? But we've all had shots, and they hurt. But I do not get stung every time I get in bees. And I'm sure Sarah can attest and Jake can attest. I can work 10 beehives in a day and not get stung at all.
Right.
I can go out one time to dip a drowning bee out of my horse water tank trying to be nice, and I get stung.
Yep.
So it's not an ongoing, continuous problem in any way.
The only thing with becoming a beekeeper is get some classes, go to some like whatever area you're in. Like I'm a part of Omaha Bee Association, even though they haven't seen me for a little bit, but I am a part of that. And just go take some classes, watch a lot of people here on YouTube. Just get the knowledge of it first, and 100%. Then you to do it.
100%.
YouTube's the reason I'm even here on YouTube, because when I was looking for bee videos, I ran across Kodiak Farm Bee and Walker Bee Ranch chat, and they encouraged me to do videos, of course, in the beekeeping, but they're in different areas.
Right.
So I have to take what they say with a little grain of salt and say, well, if they're doing that there, but it's not time for me here, then I need to, So that's why it's good to go to local meetings.
Right. Look for videos from people in your area.
Yes.
And another thing I would tell you for learning for new people, order the free catalogs from the big retailers. Better Bee has an excellent catalog with a whole section in the middle about education. The Dadont catalog also has excellent educational stuff in the middle.
That's not to say you have to buy. It's just they have
Right.
good
Right.
information in there, and then you
Yeah.
get an idea for what things will cost.
And you need to get you need to learn the lingo. There was a
Yes.
girl on Facebook yesterday that posted about her bees are already in the hive, and do I need to use the wood thing with the oval circle in the center? I'm like, you need to know what you're talking about. You know, go to a club. Oh, I was going to add on to Jake's thing about volunteer to help other beekeepers, because beekeepers love the yak. They love to teach mostly, and almost all of them will take free help in return for you learning.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Great information. We made a concrete pad for our honey beehives. Concrete pad.
Oh yeah, great idea.
What is
Yep.
that?
So they're talking about they've poured a pad of concrete on the ground to set the
Right.
beehives on. And along that same line, as I had said, I have the rubber stall mats underneath. So one thing I don't recommend is mulch. Don't put mulch under your hives.
No.
It brings ants and trouble. A good
That's
thing.
a hive beetle breeding ground.
100% right. Hive beetles are a pest, and their larvae drop out of the hive and pupate in the ground and come back up. So any kind of a barrier like that underneath is helpful. Yep.
Oh, okay. Bammy said earlier that he's just gonna support the local beekeepers and buy their honey.
Hey, thank you, Bama.
We need those people too. So that's
Yes,
a good
we
thing.
do. Thank you. And another good YouTube resource would be Fred Dunn. He
Right.
has a lot of videos that are just bees and the noise of bees, and he explains. He's more of a backyard beekeeper. He demonstrated Tracy's hive butler with a swarm, and I
Okay.
do have a video. I just haven't posted it yet.
He also has like every kind of hive. He has a horizontal hive, he has a Layens hive, he has a flow hive, and he's very unbiased. He just presents what he finds with as unbiased of an approach as possible. And then I think on Fridays he does viewer questions, which
Yes.
is super fun.
Sometimes he goes live on Fridays, and he's a humorous fellow.
He is great guy.
J.K. Gardner, hello all. How serious is the bee problem in the world? There's a bee problem in the world?
So I think the bee problem is pretty serious in that you need to remember they pollinate our food supply.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that
And
Oh.
we spray and coat everything with poison.
right.
Everywhere, all the
Yeah.
time.
That's what I was gonna say right there. They use a lot of chemicals on their fields, and our bees are going out there, and it's coming back to us.
It is. And the other thing they use is seed coatings. A lot of times they'll coat the farm seed with a coating that will kill cutworms and stuff. But that coating is adhered to the seed with something sweet. They won't tell us what it is. It's a proprietary mix. But when the farmer's filling his cedar or the cedar is empty, oftentimes a lot of that will dump out on the ground in places. Man, it's a magnet for bees. They eat it, take it back to the colony. So there is a bee problem. We do need to be aware of it. But honestly, the best thing we can do is lobby for less poison. We just need to have, and I get it, you know, farmers' mortgages and college education kids and all that is riding on it. But we just can't keep doing it. Something needs to change.
Thank you for the reminder, Hangley's Homestead. Important to learn from others in your same climate, your same area.
Yep.
Hey, CC. Welcome in, Ms. Dee's Harleywood.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Fresh and Fire said, can you please talk about the difference between honeybees and the other insects that sting? I've seen the difference in my backyard.
Well, can I hit on that?
Absolutely.
My neighbor, she called some folks, and she didn't call me, but she knew I had bees in the back, and she said, all your bees are in my chimney. And I looked at the bees. I said, "Those are not bees. Those are wasps." And she said, "Those are." I said, "No, those are wasps." I said, "I don't do wasps." And she called somebody to get them out and everything. But yeah, you got wasps that look just like bees. And the reason you can tell them the difference is they go in certain places that you might be in the ground cutting grass one day and you see a bee come out the ground.
Those are the worst. So those are the worst. They're so
Yes.
frightening. So a couple important differences that I tell people when the calls start coming in September. Oh, there's bees trying to get under my siding. I'm like, not in September. And I say, are their legs yellow? If their legs are yellow, they are not honeybees. And I'm like you, I'm not coming. I'm not coming. But another important difference that I think helps people is a honeybee can sting you one time and she dies. That's it.
Right.
Rips her guts out one time. Yellow jackets, wasps, hornets, they can sting you over and over and over again. They come at you in mass and they will do that. They're dangerous.
Mhm.
A good way to kill the ones in the ground is a 5-gallon bucket of soapy water.
Yes. I tell everybody soapy water will get rid of those hornets and wasps.
And do it at night
Or
when
diesel,
they're
or
all
diesel.
home.
That's
When they're
right.
all home.
Or diesel with a match.
Well, I don't want to recommend that.
危ない。
I don't want to recommend that.
危ない。ちょっと待ってください。
Well,
Hold on a minute. That's dangerous.
oh, okay.
So kerosene is better because it's slower.
And they were
There you go.
Took,
I used what was on hand.
I understand.
that's a good job, Miss McCoy. And she took time to educate the people who they thought they were bees, but they were
Right. And that's a bad rap, right? Honeybees get a bad rap. We had a big
Yeah.
fight over in Fishers, Indiana, which is a very populated area because one lady got stung by one bug on a mailbox, and a beekeeper had bees in the rural land adjacent, and the city of Fishers said no bees, period, because this one lady got stung by a bug. So honeybees get a bad rap. They don't come for you like that.
No, they
If
don't.
they did, we wouldn't be
Right.
beekeepers.
And a lot of times when I get stung, it is my fault. I've either
like
hugged
you
them too
squish 'em.
close,
Uh-huh.
I've either squished them, or I've done something. So I don't blame them. And that's if you start getting angry at them for getting stung,
Yeah.
they feel that it's like putting blood in a shark-filled water. They will
Yep.
come for you if you get angry with them.
And honestly, after a while, you get stung like, ugh. So it's not, you don't react like you used to, right? You don't.
Right.
No, but the side effect for me is amazing. I feel physically better after I get stung. My joints loosen. I'm freer. I actually breathe better.
Ms. T, you should talk about apitherapy sometime. There's a guy here in Indianapolis, Don Tucker, that does apitherapy, which is bee sting therapy, and it has good results, I think, with Lyme disease, arthritis, all kinds of things. It's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
DC says the wasps need love too. They help get rid of caterpillars.
Well, I'm going to leave that up to them. You go ahead.
I was stung over 50 times, but I can't say whether arthritis didn't bother me. All I could say was I didn't have any reactions or anything. And I got stung over 50 times at one time.
Gosh. Oh,
That's a new beekeeper.
So important to note that honeybee venom and wasp venom, totally different. If you're allergic to one, that doesn't mean you're allergic to another one. So of course you would need to be tested, but I'll tell you a funny story. When I started beekeeping, my husband, who's my favorite person, said, I can't help you with the honeybees because I'm allergic. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went about beekeeping for 3 years even. And finally one day I was like, well, what happens to you that you're allergic? And he said, oh, I get like this big swollen hump and it itches and it burns. And I was like, that's what happens to everyone.
Yeah,
You're
that's
getting a
me.
bee suit for Christmas. So
He just didn't want to go out there. That's all.
100%. Yep. That was it.
Haley said yesterday assisted with a beekeeper. It was the meanest swarm ever. Picked out 15 stingers. I never seen that in 10 years.
That is very uncommon for a swarm.
Some of them, well, and that might have been a hungry swarm where they didn't find their place to go and they're starving.
Or
I
did
know
they have a
can get
queen? I
mean.
wonder if something had happened to their queen.
That
That's
could have been
possible.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because I usually don't get stung during the swarm.
I don't either.
But there was the other morning, I was on my way to my Japanese Bible study and I got a swarm call from the gas station that I was going to get gas from anyway.
Perfect.
But they had already left. There were
No.
like a dozen bees. So I
No.
put them in my swarm box to keep them because they stung me on the wrist.
Oh.
But they were it was wet and cold and they were probably hungry and
Does
Summer?
anybody else use duct tape on
Oh,
their
yeah.
Okay.
I did that in the very beginning. Now I wear Mr. Clean dish gloves, believe it or not.
Yeah.
those work.
And if you do get stung through them, like you can feel it, ding, you got the sting, but the venom doesn't get through.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it's a
Well-
lot less traumatic.
I go with gloves and without gloves. It just depends on how. If they're acting up or it's after 4 o'clock, I put
Yeah,
gloves
right.
on. Before 4 o'clock, early morning, I don't wear any gloves, anything.
So this is a big nuanced part of beekeeping that new people don't learn off the internet, right? Their bees are grouchy in the evening or during cloudy, rainy weather or at the end of the spring flow, the dearth. They get hungry. They're cranky. And I'll see people on Facebook. Oh, I just got my bees. They love me. They recognize me. I don't have to wear any protective equipment. And then you see that same girl in August and she's like, somebody come get them. I am done. And it's like, okay, let's recognize that colony life, they have seasons
Right.
of greatness and horribleness. And like children, you have to stay the course and keep going. So
Yes, DC's bees hit it. Make you wear the gear that makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go more without gloves, but I don't like the sticky propolis in my fingers.
right.
But I've been trying to because I do notice that I move slower and they are less stressed when I don't wear gloves.
So I found 8 mil nitrile gloves with a long gauntlet
Mhm.
on Amazon. And because they're 8 mil, they don't just rip open when your hive tool touches them. I've
Right.
had great success. Bees can't hang on to nitrile.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, not at all.
So Cece, I'm with her. So Cece, I like how casual you guys are about the bee stings. So describe like your first time getting stung versus like now you guys just kind of nonchalant, like, oh, got stung.
Well, I told you about my first time. That's when I got stung by the 50 bees.
Oh,
I rode around in my yard trying to get the bees off me. Once they finally went down, I came to the house, got some more sweatpants, put them on, went back, finished doing what I had to do, then came back, and that's when the wife, she helped me, and she was counting all the red marks I had on me. Now, as you said, the cheap gloves, I was wearing the cheap gloves, doing the bees. One stung me in the hand. I really didn't notice it until I
Right.
looked at how the glove was torn.
yeah.
But now, if they hit me on the center of the hand and stuff, it's okay. But when they hit the back, that's when I kind of feel it.
Yeah.
But I haven't been stung in a good while lately.
I actually stung myself yesterday. A dead bee was stuck on my thumb, and I went to wipe it off and push the stinger into my thumb. Fortunately, no swelling or anything. But I tell people I usually get stung right after I say, I'm just gonna fill the feeder. I'm just gonna adjust that lid. I'm just gonna save this drowning bee. That's almost always when I get stung.
Or I'm just gonna write quick.
Yes. Oh yeah.
There is no right quick. Don't think you're gonna do it right quick because then they'll have other plans.
Yeah, I went to Sarah's apiary we actually went to the back once, but I've been to her house a couple times. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, everything's slow motion. Everything. There's no
Go
right way.
slow and
And-
be the tree.
Well, couple things. So I tell people, wear the gear that makes you feel safest and most relaxed. There is no shame in putting on all the gear every time for the rest of your life. If it makes you feel secure and be a good beekeeper, wear the gear. Absolutely.
If you're going to have a more enjoyable experience with them, wear it.
Yeah.
And
Put the hat on, because I've not been stung in the face. I've been stung
Right.
in the neck, but not in my face.
I had one glancing blow when I unzipped my veil far away from the hives, but still out in my yard. Took the veil off, and we literally were eating Freezy Pop because it was so hot. And this bee goes ding and got me right. I was like, seriously,
Yeah,
it wasn't even
and
out
that's
here.
how it happens.
Salon Diva in Texas, like, what does it feel like to actually get stung? Like the first
shot?
A good hard shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
like a shot, like a.
It-
it's like-
It's like they hit you with the needle, then pulled it back real quick.
Yeah, and having a Freezy Pop on hand, literally, I like crack it, and so I do ice right away. I feel like that is very helpful.
I just kind of shake it off and keep going.
That's
well,
it.
right, but if
And
I
then
can put a Freezy Pop on it, I will. But you're
Yeah,
right, you
I-
got to keep going because
Hang
most
on, I
of us
gotta write that down. Keep Freezy Pop.
Freezy Pops. Most of
Keep
us
freezing
don't have
pops while
other
you're
bee-
working.
most of us don't have other beekeepers in the house who could solve the problem, right? So if I drop an entire box of bees off accidentally and they come out like a tornado, I have to fix it. Like you said, Jake, I have to fix it. There isn't someone else. So that's kind of a mental thing that, oh crap, but I have to fix it.
And this is why I started the other channel. Well, two reasons actually, but one of the reasons I started because them two little girls, grand girls I got, hopefully one of them may pick this up.
Right.
So we do have, okay, so DCB said the dead bee stings are the worst. And then Jay, I can never get that name right, said dead bees actually sting.
Well, they're not doing the stinging. Whenever I touched it, I pushed it into my thumb.
Right.
It's
on
like
the
if
way
you
across,
step on a
so.
dead bee, it'll get you.
But so a honeybee stinger stays in you. She flies away. The stinger is still in you. All right. If you look closely at it, the little pumping mechanism is still pumping the venom into you, even though she's gone. It's
Wow.
pretty creepy. So you want to get that out of you as fast as you can because it's going to keep going till it runs out, obviously. So flick it out as fast as you can.
Do those
They're just like fish hooks. They got little barbs on them,
Right.
so they just stay in there.
Yeah.
Except for the queen. Except for the queen. No barb on her stinger because
No,
she
she
can go
can-
around and kill all her sisters.
But she doesn't usually sting humans. She
Oh, of
wants
course,
to get
right.
up-
That is-
she wants
that
to
is
get
correct.
at other bees because
That
I've
is
not been stung by a queen
Oh no, I haven't either.
yet. I mean, I know it happens, but
No.
she's more looking
Focused.
for other queens.
She's more like two-legged women. No.
okay. Bee suits get hot in the summer.
Yes.
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 That's what I was gonna say. I have a little video on my YouTube channel that I give my 11 tips for new beekeepers. One of those is spend the money and buy the ventilated suit. Because under my ventilated suit, I can wear shorts and a tank top or a swimsuit, and you can't feel the breeze go through. So, but yes, they get hot.
Welcome in, Hack. I love all the conversation and confessions. So real. I'm a new beekeeper and appreciate your experience. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have over 50 people in here. So
Yay.
venom in the fall seems like it
Yeah.
has more potency.
I wonder if that's a data point. I'd be interested to find out about that. 22.
Let's see what else. Biggest trick is getting the sack off. Okay, yes. And don't pinch,
Right.
scrape it.
Right. So I just use my thumbnail or hive tool, whatever, flick it out. I try to teach this to little kids every year. We do second graders at the 4-H Ag Days, and their eyes are this big. And we're like, it hurt going in, but it doesn't hurt coming out. Just get it out as fast as you can.
Yep. Scrape it off and
Keep going.
Yep. Yep. So supposedly, the less often you get stung, potentially worse reaction. So if you haven't been stung for 5 years and all of a sudden you get stung, could be worse for you.
And that's I hope not for myself and other beekeepers, because I mean, it swells and it itches and it sucks, but then
Right.
the couple days after that, my body feels better. So
Well, supposedly it's good for arthritis. So I was, if I'm going to get stung, let's do my fingers, right? That'll be
right? Why can't they sting right where I need it?
I know. Hipotherapy.
Because you have your knees covered, you have your elbows covered. Every
Yeah.
place there's a joint, you got it covered.
I will say, one time early when I first started beekeeping, I started with a girlfriend that I went to high school with, and we got up to 30 hives, and it was a lot. So I can't believe, Sarah, that you do 33 all by yourself. That's impressive.
I do. My husband helps me a
Okay,
a
but
lot.
still,
He really does, and
it's a lot of work to do that
I'm
well. So
recruiting as I go, help along the way. I'm making friends who are beekeepers so I can eventually say, "Hey, let's have an inspecting party."
yeah, no, you totally should start your own club. But one time we were moving bees at night, and they were just all over us because it was dark and they didn't like it. And they stung all around the cuffs of my suit to the point it made me so freaked out that they were wringing my wrists that I was like, I have to walk away. So I went over and just got in this pine tree and like tried to be the tree and held really still. And then obviously we finished because you had to, and went home, and there were stingers all the way around but my wrists, and it was so creepy. I hated it.
That feeling when they're trying to get in there,
it's like they know that's a vulnerable spot.
They do, because you're like, and they won't shake off, and they won't brush off. It happened to me one time. I thought I was going to refill a feeder bag. I used a freezer bag. As don't refill them, don't.
Oh.
Because it busted and there was a river of stuff coming out, and they came at me like that, and I did not have a smoker either. That was one of those.
We should not tell these stories. People will not
I'm
become
just gonna real quick. Well, they need to know, because it is that part of it, that it can happen. They're not all just sunshine and rainbows.
And you can't jump in your car and go home.
They make you, I mean, for me, the working with them makes the sunshine from the inside out, but there is still that danger there that they're going to come for you.
On occasion, rare occasion.
I mean, you got to watch yourself, though. Like I said, if I wouldn't have messed with that feeder bag, it would have never happened.
Right. And you learned that lesson, right?
Yes.
I mean, you just learned it. Done.
So GJ3 full, got it. Wrote down bee stings are good for arthritis. Are there any other benefits of getting stung by bees?
You're gonna have to talk to the apitherapist guy.
Yeah, talk, because I'm trying to learn all that for.
So Lyme disease, that was the one I remember.
Yeah, Lyme disease. I know it's they shrink. It can shrink. Morning, Deb. Cancerous tumors.
Oh, I did just read that. Bee venom and breast cancer, the worst form of breast cancer, that bee venom works on those tumors. I did just read that. Woo!
And then the propolis, that's a whole other live stream.
So I started using a propolis throat spray long before I was a beekeeper. I was a school bus driver for 7 years. I never had one sick day. I bought these little bottles of propolis throat spray, and it tasted awful. And I made my kids use it, and now even my kids know that is the go-to, man. As soon as I feel a tingle in my throat, I use propolis throat spray. So do you save your propolis? Have you made your own tincture with it?
Yes.
Oh, good. I haven't done that yet. I just have freezer bags full of propolis. My kids are like, really?
And
Mom?
I do.
Really?
And from the beginning, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. So you have a recipe?
My first hive, I had this like 4 little bits of propolis. I'm like, it's never going to grow. It's never going to grow. Well, now I have like containers full of it.
I'll send you mine.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. Oh, so I see that, DC's Bees, and propolis. There you go. Propolis was the old school toothache remedy. You were supposed to bite on it on your sore tooth because it is also antibacterial, antimicrobial, all those things.
Yes.
Good to know.
I did have some teeth issues that before I went into the dentist, the propolis did help.
Interesting.
It did.
Yay, I mean, it's miraculous, right? Why aren't people? Why? Yeah, it's miraculous. I love it.
We just got to talk about it more.
We do. Absolutely. There's a company in Ohio called Bee Apothecary. Instead of Apothecary, it's Bee Apothecary, and that's where I buy mine.
Bee Apothecary. Well, see, and I just buy the Everclear, the strongest Everclear. Soak it in there for a good week, maybe even a little longer, and then
strain it out.
And there you got your tincture.
Okay, I'm gonna do that because I have freezer bags full. My kids are sick of it.
So we have been talking a lot about the bees, but you actually have a company, a website. Tell us about your business.
So my product is the Hive Butler, which Sarah graciously brought with her. And I was a beginning beekeeper. We were so excited. I pulled out that first frame of honey. I was like, look, we did it, or they did it. We have this honey. What should I put it in? Thank you. There it is. And my husband and I could not believe there wasn't a food grade tote of any kind made for honey. We were just like, this beautiful, perfect frame of honey. Should I put it in that old cooler that we were using on camping last weekend? Or should I put it in that flimsy Chinese office tote? And honey is very heavy. A small frame of honey can weigh 8 pounds. So a hive body with 10 frames, 80 pounds. So the Chinese tote boxes don't cut it. They just break. The cooler is got, black mold in it and fish smell. We just couldn't believe it. And so the old school method was you brought your wooden box in that had all your honey frames. Well, there's no bottom in the box because you make a stack of them. So it's going to leak on your counter, in your garage, in your car, wherever you put it. So we were like, we should have a box made for beekeeping. And we were very unaware of how challenging that is. And so we thought it would be easy. It was not easy. It was not cheap. But we kept thinking, well, it could do more than just honey. Honey is only maybe 2 weeks out of the whole year. So what else could this box do for us while we have it? And so then, of course, storing your drawn comb in the off season is really important. As we mentioned about hoarding, you need your drawn comb for the next year. And then we came up with the ventilated lid. And so now with the ventilated lid, you can catch your swarms in it. You can, thank you. Carol Merrill, there she is.
There we go.
Thank you so much. So there's your ventilated lid. So now you're using it to pick up swarms, to protect your queen during hive inspections, to make splits, or just to take the heavy honey away. And then we made it into an uncapping tank. So we tried to make it this versatile tool that would help you all year round. And I honestly, through a miracle of God, and I am not joking at all, we found an investor who was interested enough in our product that he was going to, he and his wife were going to give us some money to get started. And that's what we did. And we did have a first iteration of the Hive Butler that the equipment failed miserably, but we still felt like the product was a good one. And we redesigned it all together and have the one we have today. But from the very beginning, the beekeepers we talked to about it loved the idea and wanted it. So we just pushed hard and brought it into production, and we love the new model, and we feel like it makes beekeeping easier and cleaner and a little more fun. Beekeepers work super hard. So
I can attest to that. It's a hot, sweaty job, but I love every minute of it.
No, thank you.
I wish I knew about it earlier.
I do appreciate that.
I just get a tote and throw it all in there and take it in the house and do what I need to do and come on back.
Well, I want you to send me your address because I'll bet I can get a present in the mail to you.
Not a problem.
Okay, let's do it.
DC, another helpful idea for newer beekeepers, multi-purpose tools are key.
We knew that it would not be a cheap box to buy. We knew that it would be an investment. So we were determined that if it works for you all the time, it's worth that investment. But my favorite story was this lady is writing me a check and she says, does anybody push back on the price? And I said, not really. And she said, if they do, ask them if their husbands golf. And I was like, oh, okay.
Let me see you later. There we go. They are great products. If I haven't gotten an uncapping tank, with the used gear, I'd have gone for the Hive Butler.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. So we have retailers. Man Lake does carry our totes and lids. Better Bee carries all of our equipment, including the uncapping tank. We have retailers and our distributors in a whole bunch of states. But you can certainly reach out to us on social media. The Hive Butler, that's where we are. I'm happy to help get you pointed in the right direction. Yeah, 1 or 12. Yay! Me too. I have 12. So
And I've noticed, we did have a problem when we bought it last year. The sides kind of bowed out, but you guys fixed it.
Yep.
And we got that, and that was great. But
Yeah,
before,
and-
when it did that, I was so like, the wind came out of my sails because I was like, this is supposed to make life easier, because I was putting a piece of cardboard
oh
and
my
then
goodness.
my super
Oh my
and then
goodness.
collecting it and doing
Right.
the so it was
Yeah.
a bother.
Yeah, so that is just a irregular. I can't. It's not something that we can.
Well, it got fixed,
Well, good. I'm glad we helped you out.
and then it performs, and it's gotten me a lot of good honey.
And whatever honey leaks out in the bottom, it's food grade, made in the United States. You can feed that back to your kids. It's not some dirty cooler.
Yep, you just you scrape it all
Yeah.
out and keep going.
Yep, honey is treasure.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a lot of gardeners, and I hear a lot about the bees help out tremendously.
Right. And a ledge farmer, that is not real honey that you're getting at the restaurant.
No, not at all. And let's also say that even though Costco says they're selling you organic honey, not possible. Bees travel a 2.5-mile radius of their hives. There's no way they could prove or know if the bees only worked organic food sources. It's just not possible. So thank you, Costco, but no.
Yep, she's a Hoosier.
Yes, Tracy is a Hoosier. Indiana
am.
strong.
Yeah, thank you. And all of our products are made in Ohio, actually. So we have American workers working for us.
Indiana strong, but Ohio made. Okay.
Well, I'm Indiana strong with a Michigan base. I
Okay.
was born in Michigan.
There's a lot of plastic manufacturing that goes on in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio due to the automotive industry. So
Yes.
Uh-oh. A ledge farmer said, so
Come
great
on,
value
man.
for finessing him by telling him it's organic.
it's not.
It is organic to a point. The point is you only got 1% organic in it. That 99 is not organic.
Okay. That's right. We can't prove that there's no organic in it. You are
Right.
correct. You are correct. Ohio, yay. My family's from Ohio originally, so lived in Indiana most of my life, but still love Ohio.
See, that's the way I am about Michigan. I was born in Michigan. That was my home. But now Indiana's my home. So I'm a Hoosier.
Nice.
Let me tell y'all something about this honey again right now. And you got 3 beekeepers up here. Go to Wally World.
Okay.
You can go to 5 Wally Worlds and get the same type of honey. And come back, sit down, and taste every one of them. And they all will taste the same. Now you got Sarah, that's Indiana.
Yeah.
You got Miss Tracy, Indiana. And you got the Honey King, J3GS.
The king. Okay.
JD. Ooh, I can't even keep my own name straight.
You'll get it. Excellent.
JGD.
These are what?
JGD. And you taste all 3 of these honeys, they will not taste the same.
And they won't look the same.
Right.
You can tell right off the bat. If you ever see a picture of a honey show, the rainbow of colors. Yep.
Right.
Thank you, Sarah.
Those
If
are
they-
all honeys to watch out for.
Yep.
And-
All the grocery store honey is pasteurized, which kills off all the living enzymes in it that help make you healthy. Plus, the regs on imported honey are so weak that they can bring in a tanker ship from India of honey. And if they bottle it here, they can market product of USA. Okay.
Yes.
So everybody needs to be buying their honey at farmers markets or local bee beekeepers. And a great way to do that is to get on Facebook, find a Facebook page for beekeepers in your area and say, I live in Noblesville. Are there beekeepers? Of course there are. You just have to find them, make the effort, totally worth it.
And Crispy Chick, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, all them other ones, it is not real honey.
It's not.
We just gonna sugar you up.
Yeah, but it's, high fructose corn syrup.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do have about 30 more minutes and over 50 people in here. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, come on.
Our labeling requirements are a joke in the U.S.
They are.
Yes.
In fact, I would tell you that our state fair, our state organization has a booth at the state fair and allows individual beekeepers to sell their honey at our booth at the state fair. I would tell you the labeling requirements for kitchen-based products being sold honey, which is already deemed a non-dangerous product. Honey can't harm you, okay? But the labeling requirements for beekeepers to take their beautiful raw honey to the state fair are far worse, more onerous on the beekeeper than anything these commercial companies produce that isn't honey at all. So it's pretty sad, upside down like a lot of our nutritional labeling.
Okay.
That's why I love this community of homesteaders, because they can see that what is good and what is true, and then they'll say this is good and that's not, and they spread the word.
And I have really been trying to break into the homestead community the past couple years, going to homestead conferences. I will be at the Homestead Festival in Columbia, Tennessee next month. And then I will be out in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho at the Modern Homesteading Conference out there. But I feel like homesteading beekeepers get kind of the short end of the stick. I know they have a lot of things on their homestead that they're working at, and bees are just a part of that. So I'm probably not going to meet them at a beekeeping conference, but I just want to express that beekeeping is challenging and difficult, and it requires management like other livestock. It is less work in that no fence, no manure pile, no water tanks, and there is an off season, except maybe in Georgia. Do you guys have an off season?
Not that I know of.
Right. Okay. So not everywhere has an off season, but as Sarah said, honeybees are livestock and they require care and upkeep and maintenance like any other livestock. So please don't buy that philosophy of I don't need to treat for mites and I don't have to check them unless they look different at the front door. Plus, it's kind of fun, really. Like it's fun to grow them and split them and move them. And
when I'm in there, time loses all meaning when I'm with the bees.
Totally agree.
And there's this contentment that nobody can take away from me.
And just watching them go about their business. They're not really interested in the beekeeper. They just want to keep doing their thing. They're so devoted.
And the smell. They smell amazing.
They do.
The only downside is when you pick up a box and it's heavier than what you thought it was. Other than that, it's fine.
We got stung the other day. I misjudged. There was too much honey in the box. Thank goodness Stephen was out there with me, and I said, "Hey, you're gonna have to come get this other one. Put it here. I got this one." We got stung.
So that thing about the smell, that reminds me, in the winter, we're not getting into the bees at all, and I think about that smell. That you crack that lid, it's like all the flowers you've ever smelled at one time with some honey sweetness mixed in. I think about that all winter long. I just look forward to that moment. I don't know that I noticed a change in the taste of honey. Honeysuckle is pretty mild, and while I'm ripping it out all the time, I also recognize that the bees do forage on it, so it's kind of a trade-off. It's sort of like clover honey.
Me too.
Oh, I love her, Sarah. Hi, Butler is so genuine and no nonsense.
Thank you there, Miss Crooked Peach. Thank you.
Hey, Diana's Homestead.
Good morning.
Before you ask Diana, the answer is no. I still haven't received the package yet.
What is going on with that mail system?
Hey,
All right.
hey, it's coming from Texas.
Okay.
Hey, Sourwood Branch Bee Farm. How you
Good
doing?
morning. Thanks
What
for
a pretty
coming
logo.
in. My questions have all been. I have a note right here to appreciate Miss T. She learned how to bake bread yesterday.
Wow.
I didn't want to say nothing. But Miss T, is that bread that you were eating up here just sliding in your mouth while folks are talking?
That was actually oatmeal cookies.
Oh,
Oh, that was oatmeal cookies.
I was waiting on you to bring the fish so I can make me a fish sandwich.
hey, you late. I was sitting here waiting on y'all. I said, I can't wait no more. I just went and ate and drank my coffee.
So what kind of bread?
I guess just regular.
It was just
Loaf of
regular
bread.
basic
Sandwich bread?
Yeah.
And it turned out beautiful?
Yes. And
From
she
the
said it made
flour
her,
and water.
Oh, I love baking bread. It's magical.
it is.
I would
It
never.
did look like a broke leg, though.
Oh.
There's a hater in every audience.
I started making sourdough discard crackers.
Ooh.
Okay.
Now
It's so easy, and I love, love, love them.
I'm putting your website here in the. Well, actually, your Gmail that's on your card.
Oh yeah, I have a new email, but that one works. I still get into that one too. But follow us on Instagram. I've posted a ton of swarm pictures lately at the Hive Butler on Instagram.
Oh, you're on I'll hit you up through Instagram then.
There, absolutely. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, send me your message on there. I'll take care of you.
Are you still active on YouTube?
So our channel, we haven't posted anything recently, but it's mostly videos about how the product can work for you. I love teaching beekeeping, but who has time? I just don't have time to stand in the bee yard, and my husband's never home to shoot the video. And so I haven't put anything up recently, but the ones that are there will definitely help you, especially if you own a Hive Butler.
Okay. So a lot of people in our community purchase honey from Jigs down there, J3. I'm going to break down and buy local honey for the benefits, but I'm afraid it's not going to be as good as yours. No two honeys have taste alike.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. But when you're the honey king and you put that love into your honey, when you just love that honey.
I'm trying to think. I've had honey through Don't Hurt the Harvest, Sarah's Happy Hives, J3GS down there, Soil Sister. I've had a lot of people's honey in this community.
I have Soil Sisters honey.
None of
So
them taste the same. Yeah.
Hunter's Honey Farm is down there. They're the oldest family bee business in the state of Indiana.
Okay.
By you.
Hunters. I think I saw their
They have billboards.
because I think I got their bee pollen from
Hunter's
No.
Honey Farm is down south, and then the largest commercial beekeeper in the state of Indiana is Clover Blossom Honey. That is Dave Shenafield. He's up in LaFountain, north of Kokomo. He has over 1,000 hives here in Indiana, and he ships out to do the almond pollination every year in they ship them out before the holidays, and then the pollination happens in January.
Okay.
Urban Gardening Chronicles found you on the gram.
Yay.
Rural Family Farming. Okay. Hey to anybody they have missed. I just followed you on Instagram as well. Says hey.
Yay. Well, good. Hope I do post frequently on Instagram, and happy to try to help out, because I remember what it was like to be a beginning beekeeper and be completely clueless. I bought 2 nukes. I set them up in my yard all by myself, and I watched them over the summer. And for some reason I thought, oh, you harvest honey in the fall, right? We harvest everything in the fall. So then when I figured out that wasn't correct, I was like, oh my gosh, now what? So honestly, clearly transparent here, I just abandoned them. I was like, okay, I didn't harvest the honey. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just going to leave them. And I had to walk by them to go to the barn, 4 times a day to take care of horses. And I was like, I'm a terrible person. I'm a terrible person. They're going to die, and I've killed them, and I'm terrible. And in the spring, the thaw came, and those bees came shooting out of that hive, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're alive. Now what do I do? They survived. I don't know what to do. And So I found these guys on Facebook in a nearby town that were full-time beekeepers. And I sent a message and said, hey, can you come help me? The bees are alive and I have no idea what I'm doing. And they said, yeah, we can come help you. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I've met complete strangers on Facebook and I have to give them my address and they're probably serial killers. And I tell my daughters not to do this. And what have I done? And so the one guy's like, you do have to give me your address. And I was like, oh my gosh. And they came and they're still my friends and they're the best guys. And the one guy said, oh, you used a deep for honey. And I said, I did. That's how clueless I was. And we pulled it off and it weighed over 100 pounds. It took everything I had to wheelbarrow that 100-pound box up to the garage so we could get the honey out of it. And we were hooked. We were like, woo, 100 pounds of honey. So that was when I decided to start my own club so that beekeeping would come to me. Those guys are still my friends. And this is what I found about the beekeeping community. They're just the kindest, helpful, hopeful people. And they're my tribe. I love them. So
That's awesome. Alleged Farmer wants to know what is the most expensive honey to make. And Soil Sister wants to let J3 down there know Northern honey is the best. His head is getting way too big up there.
Little sister, get in your place.
Oh my. Oh my. So what's the most expensive honey to make?
Manuka honey,
I
which
was
only
thinking-
comes from New Zealand, right? Isn't it New Zealand?
New Zealand and the Manuka bush.
I will put this out there. A young lady has blessed me with some Manuka bushes.
Can
I
you
haven't
grow-
gotten them yet, but
I'll
they're
bet you. Oh, so they're not here yet.
right.
Wow. How cool is that?
It's outstanding.
And then Haley wants to know how many colonies do you have, Miss Tracy?
So last year, because I was traveling all the time, I had 11 hives in my yard, but they weren't all mine. I have a couple acres. So my club hive comes here for the winter. I was mentoring a lady. So anyway, we all decided I was going to cut back. I was going to cut back to 4. So got down to 4 and, I looked out in my yard the other day and there's 11 hives again and 6 mating nukes and 2 swarms that I caught. So again, they're not all mine. I do have a couple that belong to somebody I'm mentoring. I got a club hive out there. I got 2 swarms I'm giving to people and I'm trying to grow out some queens. So.
Okay. Words have meaning to them if we continue to change the definition. Older words to fit modern society, it will lose its history. That's true, DC. Oh my goodness, everybody's fighting for the chip.
But here's the beauty, right? Everybody can have great honey, and he's right. Everywhere it comes from is different, just like the sourwood honey. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, and I noticed even just 10 miles away,
Oh,
it
right.
tastes different from my property to another property.
Yes.
And it's like, what are
Two
they
hives,
getting there?
two hives in the same yard can
Yes.
be different. Two
Yes.
hives in the same yard, because I tell people it's sort of like grocery shopping, right? We might be neighbors, but we shop differently. We're going to have
Right.
different food in our cabinet. So the colonies, forage differently, even though they're right next door to each other. It's amazing.
What about mad honey? Is that the most?
No, is that the Texas? Is that?
I don't know if that's the stuff you have to go climb the mountain to get. And it's like
yeah. I am not. I will say I draw the line. I'm not going
there's
to.
certain things that I draw. I do.
Yeah. Got my limits.
Where's Tracy? You drawing a line?
I'm drawing the line. I'm not hanging from a rope swing and cutting down giant combs of honey. No, not doing it.
Let's see. When is the best time of season to start a new beehive?
Spring.
As soon as you start, once you make up your mind to start, that's the best time.
But spring is easy,
Yeah,
right?
spring is easy.
Spring is easy. There's plenty of stuff to eat and they're all happy.
And you get to watch them grow into
Yes.
the bigger.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but every time I go in and I see that they've built more and done more,
Yeah.
I feel like a proud mama.
Right.
Aw.
I never played Sims. Have you ever played that Sims
No.
game?
I'm familiar, but I didn't play.
Right. I'm only familiar with it too, but that's sort of what it's like, right? It's a little population that is doing things, and you're just like, oh, what are you guys doing? I also tell people if you like reading mystery books, because you're going to open that hive and think, what happened? How do I know that happened? And what do I do about that? So you're always trying to figure it out.
You got Living Out Loud, the podcast in Virginia, rethinking about starting a bee colony.
Learn everything you can.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
rethinking it, because it is a worthwhile endeavor. And I don't think people understand how impactful it is to your local food diversity, right? Orchards, berry farms, vine crops. Just having 2 beehives in your yard isn't just good for you and your family. You're actually benefiting the ecosystem around you.
Yeah.
Okay. I just bought smells like honeysuckle.
Yep.
Makes me happy inside. Walking
Yep.
on sunshine, as Sarah would say.
Walk on the sunshine, Janet.
Yep.
Walk on your
Yep.
sunshine.
Ooh, rhododendron honey. Wow.
How much space do you need to start a beehive?
So people keep bees in the suburbs, of course. But neighborhoods generally want you to not have dandelions, which is kind of a problem. So you don't need a lot of space, but what you need to think about is, in Indiana, we just got it passed that an HOA cannot tell you can't have bees. They can tell you how many. They can tell you, I think, some rules on where you can put them, but they cannot tell you can't have bees. That being said, it's important for beekeepers to be good neighbors. Don't point your beehives at somebody else's yard.
Right.
And with regard to space, 60 feet generally around the hive is the drop zone. Bees do not poop in the hive. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but they are very clean, and on the way out and on the way in is where they're getting that taken care of. So like you wouldn't put your bees in the middle of your vegetable garden, because they're not going to work 60 feet around their hive.
Okay. And how many frames should a beginner start with?
Regular 10 frames.
Sarah?
Yeah, I was going to say how many or how big?
So frames go in a box. I'm not sure we're talking about the same thing, Diana. Do you mean what size box? There is 8 frame equipment and there is 10 frame equipment.
Well, and then there's also, you can overwinter nukes.
Absolutely. A 5 frame nuke. So I'm not sure we understand your question.
So you got 5 frame box, an 8 frame box, or a 10 frame box.
So
if you're starting starting bees from the beginning, just go ahead and get the regular 10 box. If you bought a system, you're getting 3 boxes. You get your big box, medium box, and small box, and just start with that.
Good point.
Hey, there's Black's Tropical Homestead. She's the one who taught me how to make the bread last night.
Yes.
Nice.
Some more beekeepers.
Yes,
and beekeepers as well.
They also
let me see.
In Georgia.
Check your local ordinances.
That's
very good point. Yep.
The shout out, we have like almost 65 people here.
Yay.
1034.
Beekeeping's the bomb.
Bomb diggity. I'm walking on sunshine. We keep bees in the suburbs.
So let's talk about that. Multiple revenue streams can come out of honeybees, right? We got propolis, you got wax, you got honey. You can sell bee colonies. You can sell queens. So there's more. You can mentor people for money. Teach class, whatever. So bees are a good resource in that you can do a lot of different things with bee products. I don't think people even think about wax and propolis as products, but they are.
Okay.
Wax is equally as saleable and valuable as honey.
Is Amazon Prime a good place to start your stuff?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Oh, look at that beautiful bar wax. Ooh, I bet it smells glorious.
Yes, it does. It smells wonderful.
So, alleged farmer, find the local bee retailers in your state. I guarantee there are some. And they're working hard to provide equipment and bees and even education for the local community. So start local. That's why when you get involved in a beekeeping club, they can point you at those retailers. They can direct you to where responsible bee breeders are that you can buy your bees. Amazon would be your last resort.
Last resort for the simple reason is when you get them frames, some of them are wax, some are not wax, and
Right.
some is not good wax at all.
Yep. And a lot of times it's imported from other countries wax.
Yes.
So, yep.
That's why it's good to save all that Burke home.
A little bit of hoarding there. No, I'm just kidding.
This
'cause
is part of the hoarding.
I have 2 solar wax melters going in my driveway right now. Even the icky black comb off the old frames, it will clean wax can come out of it.
Yes.
It
And
just
I've
takes
got,
a little bit of time.
I've got my husband, we got a tote made up for a solar wax melter.
Okay.
And I've got a bunch of that old black
Yeah,
comb waiting.
That's what I'm doing.
But
there
right
are-
now it's like gonna rain again.
I know. There are free plans for a solar wax melter on PutnamCountyBeekeepers.org. I think that's where we built mine from. Bunch of scrap material. It works great.
Okay. GJ31 remind everybody to get involved with your beekeeper club in your area.
Right.
Absolutely.
And re-waxing frames. Can we explain
Yes.
that, please?
Go ahead.
It's a thing. Us beekeepers, we wax frames.
If
build
they're
frames,
plastic
wax-
foundation. If they're
Yeah.
plastic foundation.
Yeah, hang on. I got the
Of course you do, Sarah. You know, you just
Thank heavens for the visual aids. There we go.
okay, so that's the frame.
That is
This
plastic
is the
foundation.
foundation. This is the frame. The wood part is the frame,
Gotcha.
and then this is the foundation.
And when you buy it, they always say triple waxed, and it's not.
Right. It's best to re-wax it
This is
yourself.
I've run some more wax over.
Yep.
You
Huh.
can see it.
Okay, I see it. What would we do without you? Go ahead.
The more wax they have on there, they will.
The happier they are.
Yeah.
They'll
They'll
build
just-
it quicker.
Quicker.
Because if you don't have a lot of wax on it, they'll build off of it.
They like make a little pillar and then they build their wax.
And then they'll build, and then it gets crowded, and then you
Oh
squish
yeah,
the
and you have to
beam,
cut it off and waste it. I mean, you have to not waste it, but waste their work. And beginners are always like, "Why are they doing this?" Because you didn't coat it. You got
Yeah.
to coat
Right.
It's
Okay.
happened to me. I've got pictures of the wonkiness.
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny, isn't it? I always say artsy. They're being artsy.
And
I got
I'll
some
look at
bees.
go, you girls, you did it wrong again.
Uh-huh. Well,
I
I
got-
use wax foundation. I will tell you that. I buy wired wax foundation, and you have to buy wedge frames for that. I have a video on my YouTube of installing wax foundation because it's not hard. People often get intimidated by it. So I just prefer it because then I don't have to wax it, and bees seem to like it. But
And that's something I'm not at that level yet.
oh, it's not a level.
And it's like I just haven't explored that area.
I'm happy to point you out my little YouTube. I told Tom, you have to come out in the garage and shoot a video because this is not hard, and it's not. It's just a routine, right, of doing the same thing. And
I'm sorry, what were you gonna say, Jigs?
made it steam boxed and not wax as well.
On one of my beehives, the bees are gonna be mad at me because when I installed the bees and I went back 2 weeks later, the thing that got me was I never seen bees build upward, and they started building upward. One of them I cut out and I did a little eating video with that, but the second one I left in there because I want to see what happened to it.
Yeah.
And they're still building upward. I'm gonna have to cut it out and put
Wow,
some
you
things in there.
You need to post a picture of that. I want to see that. Next thing you know, it'll be full of brood and you won't be able to do anything with it.
Or you'll have to
Yeah.
cut it, try to frame it up in a different frame.
Right.
I'm still like really amateur about the framing up of
Is there a type of bees you wouldn't receive buying?
Here in Indiana, we call them Indiana mutts.
Oh, we have mutt bees.
yeah, the ones that catching the swarm. That's what all
Right.
mine are.
Now I will tell you, so I bought nukes the past 2 years. I bought a nuke for the person that our club is starting. I bought them both from Tree City Bees in Greensburg, and his bees are Varroa sensitive hygienic.
Okay.
So supposedly they are bred to be more able to find Varroa in the brood. They'll drag out brood if there's Varroa. So they are more on top of it than the typical bee. But I don't know if it's a breed or it's just a trait, but Varroa sensitive hygienic bees. I have those now.
I heard about that. They can take the larva out and then put it back.
Oh, I
They
didn't
get
know
the
they put it
Varroa
back.
off and put it- do they-
Wow. Interesting. Well, all I
Something
know is we bought them last year, and the girl had the hive here on my property, so I could help her. And those bees, that nuke, drew out 60 blank frames, like you just showed. 60.
Wow.
We just kept putting in more frames and feeding them. We were still feeding them.
Okay.
Drew out 60 frames of comb,
That's
which
awesome.
was impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you have a blank frame like this, they have to
Right.
build it all.
Right.
But once they build it off and there's comb in there, once it's empty, you can put it in the hive butler over winter, and
And you're going to use it year after year after
Yes.
year. It's great value.
because when you get a brand new swarm and they already have places to put things, they're going
Right.
to grow quicker.
Faster.
Yes.
Right. And they're going to fill the honey frames much faster.
Yes,
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed, Miss Kirkland.
it's so multifaceted, this beekeeping thing.
It
because
is.
There's so many things that can go. I always look and see the sky is the limit, literally, because
It
I
is.
watch them fly off into the sky.
Well, and that's another idea about where you place a hive on a small suburban lot. That term beeline, making a beeline, there's a reason for that, right? When they come out of the hive, they are going and going fast. So you don't want to point them at your patio, at your driveway, at your swing set. We would like them to be oriented facing anywhere from east to south so they get the morning sun. But you also don't want to be, like we talked about mowing, you don't want to be crossing that beeline area. They're hard at work and we need to help them.
Are you, not to open a can of worms, but do you treat or are you treatment free?
I am not. I do treat. I am not treatment free, and I don't recommend treatment free. There are multiple known methods of treatment that go from organic to synthetic. There's all kinds of proven methods in there. Go to the Bee Informed Partnership or the Pollinator Stewardship Council. One of the two of them have a great free booklet that describes all the treatments or the routines that you can use for them. And so I do treat for mites. Absolutely. I treat my dog for fleas. I treat my horses for worms. I treat my bees for Varroa.
I do
Thanks.
use oxalic acid vapor.
I do too. I've been an oxalic acid vapor girl for a long, long time.
Well,
Yeah, very well.
because the first hive, I mean, I cried.
Of course.
They died, I cried. And so we found the oxalic acid worked.
It does.
And then we got them through the winter, and we keep getting them through the winter. And it just, yeah. It
So
works.
I think the important thing about new beekeepers is first follow and pattern yourself after someone who is sustainable and successful. And when you're able to successfully continue to overwinter and grow your hives and split them and get better at beekeeping, and then if you want to tweak your treatment methods, you can try then. But first, just work at getting them through the year. So the no treatment option for beginner beekeepers is not going to be successful. You're going to buy bees repeatedly. So first, just get good at beekeeping and then kind of dial in your treatment. I know Formic Pro works on Varroa even under the capped brood, which OAV does not. So
Right.
I'm kind of doing a mix of those treatments. But yeah, I want my bees to stay alive. I want to be a sustainable beekeeper, not buy bees every year.
Now,
And that's,
I
I've
use
been
strips.
sustainable for the past 3 years.
What'd you say, Jake? What do you use?
I use the strips.
Oh, the
Okay.
Apivar? Yeah.
Yeah, when you
something that
find
works.
something that works for you and you do it.
Yep.
right. You see, there actually such a thing as honey flavored toothpaste.
I haven't heard of that.
I know
Uh,
there's propolis toothpaste.
Heck, Mona.
a ledge home said, just take your toothbrush, stick in some sugar, and then start brushing.
I started as treatment, but stopped 6 years ago. My winter survival rates get better and better each year.
Good for you, Hanley.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it, of course. Do you ever do mite counts, just out of curiosity? Oxalic acid is a naturally occurring thing. It already in the hive. It's in a lot of different natural things. So it's not a chemical that has been created to kill
No, it's in spinach. It's in kale.
rhubarb.
It's in rhubarb.
But don't buy the old thing of, oh, I just need to lay rhubarb leaves on top
Yeah,
of my
no,
frame.
we're talking parts per million.
Right. And if it was that easy, we would all do it. I promise. Good to hear.
Well,
Good to
and I
hear,
guess
David.
one of the reasons why I keep doing it is because it's not easy. And it takes that level of thought. And if I go out in the bee yard just traipsing and tromping like a bull in a china shop, then it's not going to go well. But if I slow down, just take my time, apply what I've read, and
Right.
it
Well,
goes well.
So I think building a good hive inspection routine is important. And I try to do that when I'm mentoring someone is, okay, before we take the lid off, what's our goal? Why are we getting in here? What's the goal? And how will we know if we have achieved it? Like, I do not search for the queen. If I see, I'll look for her, but I'm not tearing in there for the sole purpose of seeing the queen. All I need to do is find evidence of her.
Right.
So, and sometimes your hive inspection will go all the way to the bottom. And sometimes it's a hive check. We're just checking. We just need to know that everything's on track. And if it's on track, I'm probably not going to bug you for 1 or 2 weeks even, especially during this busy season.
Right.
South Florida Sunshine came in a little bit later. She said she went to your YouTube. You don't have much there. Are you?
Right. I'm on Instagram is where I do, where, if you're asking me, Instagram is where I do most of my stuff at the Hive Butler. Yep. Wood sorrel. Interesting.
Let's see. What else? Did we miss anything else?
Now, Almost Homesteading with Janet. She is our resident weed eater. And
Okay.
she makes videos where you can eat the herbs that grow in your lawn wild. Like you can eat
Nice.
clover.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so she also does the TV guide for the YouTube, different channels that go live. So yeah, Janet is so dear to our heart.
Well, maybe she can answer a question for me. Somebody just gave me several comfrey plants. So why do I want comfrey and where should I plant it? I mean, it's beautiful and I recognize that. But I'm just wondering, somebody I knew planted it outside their fence at each fence post. I know it has a giant taproot, but is there something I'm going to use it for other than just enjoying it? Beautiful.
You have fruit trees and stuff around your house?
I do. I have a couple apple trees.
Planted at the base of the fruit tree, and when it dies, just let it lay there.
Right.
Take it in you can use comfrey for a lot of things in your garden.
Okay, perfect. I will do it. I'll do it today.
Yeah. I need to get out there to my weeds before it starts. It's not raining here. Is it raining where you guys are at?
It's not.
It's looking like it wants to.
Right. I would like some rain on my hay.
No, it's sunny out here. I don't see any clouds in the sky.
Thank you, King. Thank you.
Hey, I am going to have to go because I have a truck coming in to pick up some hive butlers, and I got to go open the dock door. So I've really enjoyed meeting you guys.
Enjoy meeting you.
Make sure you send me a message on Instagram, and
yes,
I hope we can talk again. Sarah, thank you for recommending me. I really appreciate it.
And please hit up my new channel. This is
I will do it. I will do it. Thank you so much, guys. Got to go. Bye.
Have a great day, Tracy.
Have a good one.
Busy. Well, thank you. That was the perfect timing because Swoop Like Me is about to go live here in 9 minutes, and somebody can drop their link. And tomorrow is National Child Care Provider Day. That's what we're going to be talking about. It's not just the mom and dad. I know Jegs helps take care of his grandbabies. I used to always say I'm team one. My daughter's dad's not in her life. But it's a lot of people here on YouTube who helped me, get her ready for college and everything. And I appreciate that. So I did want to take time to appreciate and acknowledge people who aren't actually parents. There are some people who adopt and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Almost Homesteading with Jaden wants to know if anybody else going live today before we drop down. Thank you, Sarah. She's up here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you guys. As a new beekeeper, are you saying we need to buy bees every
No.
year?
No, you don't have, because
Uh,
once you learn how to catch a swarm, you won't have to buy bees ever.
and once you learn how to take care of your bees,
Take
you're
care
good.
of your bees. Right. See, I forget things. I wrote down a note, don't forget. And I'm like, what am I supposed to not forget?
And I know I'm older than you are.
Let me see. Thank you so much, Cece. Yeah, this was great. Very informative. A lot of people were helped, so that's all that really matters.
And like I
Great
said,
day.
everybody in the chat, this is my new channel. Go ahead over and subscribe. I will get the content there for you people to see. It's just something I hope and I pray that will take my granddaughters somewhere. That is Johnson's granddaughters behaving. So I hope they behave.
Are you able to drop that link on my channel as well while we still got all these people in here?
Thanks, Anne Marie, for dropping my link. I saw that. Have a great day, everyone.
Yeah, we still have 57 altogether here.
No, I can't drop it.
Okay.
I'm glad everybody came out this morning.
Oh, you're at 4 subs now, JGD.
Just 4? Just 4?
Hang on, let me get
Thank
over
you.
I'm what is it? Tampa Creek. I don't know if she's in the bushes or not, but with Tampa okay.
You
With
see
Tampa
that,
Creek, everybody seemed to met my twin brother and everything for the JGD page. Let's bring it on back to home. It's me.
Oh my God. You want to win Watermelon Wars, the King of Honey. What are you bad at?
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
You have to get to know me to know how good I am.
Putting some corn down today. Awesome, alleged. Tampa, come get your people.
And she kept every time I'm in the chat or something, she's snitching on me. Oh, that's just J3GS.
Anne Marie, are you able to text me the new channel? Because I can't pick it up here on the stream. I gotta see Jags over there behaving.
That's for the girls to behave.
She said she couldn't find you.
I'm looking, I can't find.
Well, he only has
use the at.
Yeah. I think it's like if you're under 50 or 100 or something like that, you have to put that at sign. Did you find it?
Okay, I see it. There we go.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, that's not my phone. Oh, it is my phone. There we go.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's your phone, not mine.
Okay, and I am number. Wow, you went from 4 to. I'm 24 now. Okay.
See, you tried to be first, but you lagged on too much. You're not the first one.
Wait a minute, King. Wait a minute now.
Well, I'm in there.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
He's not behaving at the moment. Okay.
Well, and I wanted to tell you guys that I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's videos, but I'm having a time issue. The bees have been calling.
Life be life, and that's I hear that a lot in these YouTube streets.
But I'm gonna catch up as I can. I've been trying to leave little emoji comments because sometimes I get like mentally exhausted where I just can't look at another thing.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So yeah, swoop goes on in about 3 minutes. So I'm just holding on. We went from 64 people in here to 51. So thank you for the 64 people that were here.
Yes, thank you. It's been I'm thankful for you all this Thursday. New friends and dear friends.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I enjoy meeting the new friend, Miss Tracy.
Yes, Miss Tracy.
Yes.
Oh, it will not be the watermelon king. He is not the king of watermelons. Texas is coming strong.
All these jealous people.
Lisa got 200 pounds. Lisa extracted 200 pounds of honey.
Oh, outstanding.
Wow.
She's in Alabama, remember. Grammy Lisa.
What a resilient dad.
Bow well,
We just saying hello to everybody now. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming in. If you're not thinking about bees, I hope you think about bees now, because we all can have some bees.
Yes, you can. You really, really can.
Let's see. Did anybody drop Swoop Like Me's so we can pass the mic? That's a lot of honey. It is a lot of honey.
I think I had 100 pounds last year that I was able to.
Ooh. Are you ready to start make your gallons of honey for purchase?
They are putting it in there, but I came across this plant, this purple dead nettle plant. It smells like dirt, right? I got some honey that smells and tastes like this. Like dirt.
So you tasted that leaf?
It smells like dirt, right?
Mm.
The honey that I collected tastes like this smells. So I don't know if it was like, maybe I should have waited and let them eat that honey, but they're going to get it back because, it looked great. And when I started uncapping and scraping it, it's
I take it, just open it up and set it out there and let them take it back and refine it.
Yeah, when it quits raining, that's exactly what's happening.
Up, so I'm just.
They're all over this stuff, and it's just starting to fade off. The blackberries are popping because I know that honey is good.
It's what, Sarah? It's popping?
The blackberries.
They popping?
They're popping. Blossoming.
And one of the Melaleuca tree and stuff that I'm getting. The
Manuka.
Yeah, Manuka. Now the only thing to it is we know bees don't just jump out and get what's right there in front of them.
Right.
I'm wondering where I got to set that my bees will actually go to it, because they come out and up. They don't just come out and just forage right there, other than to get water and stuff.
I was gonna say like 100, at least a couple 100 feet away from where they're, and I guess try to watch where they go. Maybe plant it in their beeline. Because I'm still trying to figure all that stuff. We're planting stuff around in our apiary that probably our bees aren't going, but somebody else's bees are getting.
That's the point I'm looking at right there. Somebody else's bees gonna be getting this Melaleuca, this flowering stuff.
And there's nothing we can do about that. The bees do what they want.
Swoop did a 7.5-hour live stream yesterday.
You go, Swoop. Swoop!
So I was trying to see if she is live now.
She might be sleeping today.
Okay. Are you guys sure that she is going live today? Because I don't see any kind of notification or anything.
I think she only says she do it 3 days a week?
No, Hump Wednesday, Thursday,
and Friday.
And Saturday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Because I know she does.
No. During the day, it's 3 days a week. And then you got Saturday. So I think she may not be on till tomorrow.
Okay. Well,
I think.
Swoop ain't live.
So Miss T can go another hour now.
Or we can find somebody else.
Miss T, look, we got 17 minutes until when Miss T says I'm hungry. We got 17 minutes.
She ain't hungry. She been eating. She been sitting here eating the whole time we've been talking. She been eating. She ain't hungry.
I was living off an oatmeal cookie. Okay.
I got a Three Musketeer.
I'm on my way. See, I got to go to Columbus, Indiana now.
It says keep shining. Keep smiling. Okay. Knowing you. How does it go, Jags?
Always count everybody.
That's for sure.
That's what friends are for.
Sound wonderful. So, is there anybody else going live? And everybody's always like, I don't want to step on toes. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Look at this opportunity right here.
You better step on toes.
This is like that double Dutch I told you about,
Yeah.
where I feel like I can't jump into the double Dutch.
You can always jump in. I don't know how to double Dutch. The only black
I
woman
never.
I step on toes all the time.
See, my toes get stepped on.
Oh, before we do leave, are you feeling better and better each time we do this, Sarah?
Yes, I am.
Before you know it, we'll be looking at Sarah, and she's on there, her and the bees out there. And oh no, y'all just come on in. I got this. The bees are here to help me. Come on.
She's like, Jags, Miss T, you guys can just sit back.
Yeah. Me and the bees got this.
Maybe next week
gonna be a little
when it's not
swarm
raining.
She's eating on camera.
Uh-oh.
I'm comfortable here now.
hey, breaking off a little bit of bee comb every now and then, popping it in her mouth.
Oh, just
No,
wait until I
no.
get that harvest.
If you guys do not know, Sarah walks around with a jar of honey. She'll take one to the head at any given time.
Pause.
Oh
pause.
wow.
First pause
Yeah,
today.
where's my jar is like really, it's all across the room.
We was at the restaurant. She flipped open that purse. I said, okay.
Oh, y'all go to the restaurant. She bring her own honey, huh?
Yeah.
I had to bring it for him to taste.
Okay.
It was an awesome walking on sunshine moment.
Yes, it really was. I'm glad you guys invited me. Because it did something for my spirit, and I'm better.
Yes, South Florida, because I don't know who's going live. I don't see Swoop, so I'm just like, that's what friends are for. But I do want to walk the dog before it starts raining.
Yeah.
You don't know how to walk the dog? All you do is get your yo-yo, you sling it down, just let it spin, then you just bump it, and it come right back to you.
I never could get the hang of that though, Jags.
But hey, it's easy walking the dog. There you go.
I'm trying.
I haven't messed with a yo-yo in years.
Well, I think I did last year, the year before. My grandson, he bought one in, so I had to show him a few tricks.
Thank you, DC Space, for that reminder. Fear is not of the Lord. Yes, I love my high butler too, Lisa.
Yeah, we're just up here like la la la. But thank you all for being here. Thank you, Grammy, for watching.
That's the signal right there, because something about to go. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all in these streets, people.
We'll see ya.
Bye, everybody. Have a safe day.
Have a